Okay, I'm gonna record it. Something that I would say exemplifies, you know, a top coach is someone that is a really good challenger. So I've been doing lots of research on this, like how to reinvent the wheel, how to make, things exciting for our coaches, but our best coaches are found within our challenge group. So the people that you're talking to about signing on with a program or, with the challenge pack, get them into the group, help them get results, encourage them along the way. Those are going to be your very best people. Hello, here you are. Um, those are the people that show up and show out because they understand what it's like to have to plug in every single day to take care of themselves. And that's where it starts. We want to create that foundation of taking care of ourselves and sharing that. So one of the things I'll encourage you to do over this next month is to really start thinking about your posts, like when you're posting on your own personal page, and make it like a journal, like writing, like you be writing to yourself. Like, I don't know if you do, I do journaling in the morning with my devotional. And so I take time and I just kind of write about the things that are on my heart or in my mind or whatever. And that's where so many of the goods come from, because it's just me sharing honestly about what I think and what I'm going through and how, my life is changing so much. And then like one post a day, I'll share, like today I'm going to share my transformation photo 3 days in with higher fat, low carb, and intermittent fasting. And it's amazing. And each day, like I have a calendar that I'm going to share with you guys about the different kind of posts that you can use to sprinkle in coaching or sprinkle in the business that I know I haven't been doing, because I need that, like, okay, this is what you do, focused kind of thing, work, template, whatever. I just need that in front of my face in order to be able to go, okay, today this is what I'm doing whenever I'm talking about coaching. But for the most part, make your social media like a journal, like talking about just normal things in your life. Alyssa's really good at doing this, sprinkling in motherhood and encouragement, and then her workout and like different stuff like that. She's definitely someone that I would follow and just kind of see what she's doing. But however you feel comfortable with that. So talking about your kids, like the double time workouts that y'all are doing that are so awesome, and how your kids are getting involved in that. I love the pictures that your 2-year-old took with your cell phone. That was so funny. But those are the kind of funny things. Yeah, those are the kind of funny things that people relate to and see and just get really excited about. So let me unmute you really quick and see if you have any questions. Any questions on that yet?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, ma'am.
No, not on that yet.
Okay.
No. I mean, I do have some, but not right now.
Okay. That's kind of that's the biggest thing, is learning how to post on social media. And in the month, I'm probably going to start at the third week in November. I'm going to do a group. It's going to be like a new coach welcome group. And I'm, like I said, learning. I'm in the trenches with you to kind of teach you about social media, how to make your Facebook page, your personal page, your Instagram page, a landing page for, really helping people find you, find out what you do, be interested in what you're about, and cleaning up your social media so that you're posting with intention and you're not just posting random things. You got to kind of start thinking about it more as like, this is my business. If you're achieving, like wanting to achieve those business goals with this, you're wanting to, help people get started. If you're still in the, I just want to get my Shakeology paid for, I just want to help a couple people a month, then we'll gear more towards that. But it's however you want to see yourself in the future. We got to kind of start working towards changing up our social media posting a little bit to where it focuses on that. And it's showing people that, that's where you're headed. I was listening to something the other day that said you have to speak belief over yourself before other people believe in you. So when you're just starting out, people have no idea what you're doing for the most part. They're probably going, oh, she's working out with her kids, good job, that's awesome. But a lot of times they don't really grasp, what you're trying to do and what you're trying to achieve. So this is where sitting down and really thinking about where you want to be a year from now comes into play. You don't have to know everything, but learning a little bit day in, day out about how this business works, what the possible things can achieve. And a good place to do this is in your Coach Online office. In the back office, there are success stories, there's training, there's all different kinds of information about, what's possible with this business. And I get so focused on trying not to overwhelm you that I'm afraid I'm going to share too much and then just freak you out. So definitely check your Coach Online office. Make sure that you've kind of looked at the news and training to see what's new, what's happening. They just revamped this, so it's really cool. But and then in the third week of this month, so not next week, but the week after next, I'll put you in another group with a smaller coach training to kind of teach you the beginning steps of coaching. That should hopefully tie up some questions that you might have. But if you have questions, you can go ahead and ask them. I know this is kind of fast and furious over here. You have questions, Kristen?
My main thing that I have a question is my Facebook is so private that I don't get that, able to reach out to other people that are not on my list. I don't make a whole lot of public posts because of personal reasons. So I guess that's my main thing is how do I reach out to somebody that isn't going to be able to just see my stuff that I don't share publicly?
Are you talking about friends that you already have or new people?
People that I guess that I would eventually meet, not really people that are on my friends list.
Well, I know that your Facebook's private for a lot of reasons. So this might be a good place to learn how to use Instagram. Do you have an Instagram account?
Uh-huh.
Okay. This might be a little bit better for you. Before I was encouraging like pages, but now with Facebook, you pretty much have to pay for everything on your like page. So I don't really encourage that. But if your Facebook is on lockdown for obvious reasons, and we have a lot of that happen in our team, I would say let's teach you how to use Instagram. Instagram is my favorite by far because it is more intentional. So when you're posting on Instagram, it's more about taking pictures and sharing pictures. And it's not these long posts and things, but it's posting intentionally with the hashtags. So you're finding people in your niche market. So let's say mom of multiple kids, mom of older kids, mom of twins, twin mom, whatever. You're specifically targeting these different groups of people based on the hashtags that you use. And you can talk to so many more people that way. I freaking love Instagram. It also has Instagram stories where you can share videos of your workout, little funny things with your kids. I use it as kind of a snapshot into our life daily. Reese doing our workout together, and then just funny things that I'm cooking, just ways to include people in. So that might be a good place to start for you, is to really start working on that Instagram building, adding more people, or I guess it's following over there, following more people, and then we can sit and talk about some different hashtags, doing a little bit of research on hashtags that will bring you in some new people and get you some new followers and make you able to kind of share the things that you want to share, but not having to share them on Facebook where it is private and it's a lot of family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm encouraging a lot of my new coaches to switch to Instagram because I think Instagram is easier to use. There's less pressure when you're talking to people because people are following you because they're interested in what you have to say. They're interested in what you're about based on the hashtags and stuff that you choose. So maybe that's what I'll do our training on in the next couple of weeks is how to really use Instagram to grow because it's a huge thing. Melissa, you're good at Instagram. You got any tips?
I'm muted. Okay. I love Instagram for the reason mainly that she said that there's not a lot of pressure because when you're on Facebook, like you said, it's your friends, it's your family, it's people you know. And I think especially as a newer coach, you have that mindset of what are they going to think? And so that normally holds people back from sharing. On Instagram, people will follow you because they either one are following to unfollow because they want you to follow them back, or they just really like what you're posting and they like what you have to say. And and pretty much all of my coaches and customers have come from Instagram. So I started probably with like 180 followers, and my goal is to get to 3,000 by the end of this year. And I just really started working that within the past year, I would say. So I like grew my Instagram by like 200%, I guess. I'm really bad at math, but something like that over the past year. So, and it's just a really good community to find people through hashtags. But when you are using hashtags, my number one tip is you want to use hashtags that other coaches aren't going to be using, because you don't want to attract other coaches. So you want to attract people, that have things in common with you outside of health and fitness. So like twin mom or things like that. But when you type in a hashtag, it'll say how many people use that hashtag. And depending on the amount of followers you have, you don't want to use something that has like over 1,000 people using it, because you're going to get lost in the shuffle. But what you can do is when you see people or see those hashtags that have a lot of uses, you can search those in the search bar and go through the people that are using them, go through, and if you're like, man, I really like this person, comment on like their first 3 or 4 pictures, like a genuine comment, and follow them. And they'll usually like 9 times out of 10 follow you back if you really have something in common. So those are, well, that was more than one tip, but those are like my top like 5 tips all rolled into one. But community, building that sense of community is like what Instagram is all about. I used to use it just to like edit pictures, but now it's like the main source of how I find people to talk to, because Facebook is very personal. Like you said, it's like, I'm not going to go add someone I don't have any mutual friends with. So that makes it personal. The people on Instagram, they live in a different state. They live, in Canada. I'm probably never going to meet them in real life unless they go to Summit with me one year. So, I mean, it's very it's disconnected to the point that your feelings aren't hurt if someone doesn't respond how you hope they do, if that makes sense. That's what I got. Does that make sense?
Do what?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
Okay. Because the whole point of Instagram and using hashtags is you want to find people that aren't already doing Beachbody or aren't already on a journey. And I know when I first started using hashtags, I was like, why are all these coaches following me? It's because I was using hashtags that other coaches were using. So,
right.
Yeah. Or other network marketers like the rap people, and that's pretty much the only people.
And I will say that I've met more genuine people on Instagram. I have a lot of people that follow me now for my stories just because I'm like crazy with stories. But I've met a lot of genuine people on there who talk about, I'm just so glad that I found you because you share things that just relate to me, or, the stuff you share about your kids makes me not feel like I'm the only crazy one. And it's like, oh, good, I'm so glad I can include you in. And the great thing is when you do put that coaching post out there that invites into like your challenge group or something, they've been following you for a while and they've been interested in the stuff that you talk about. And so it's natural for them to go, okay, well, that's cool. What is she doing? And what I've started doing is people that like those things, I'll shoot a message, say, hey, thanks for the like on my post. How are you on your own health and fitness journey? Or however, I'm still phrasing it, trying not to make it sound so weird, but it's a process. Like, this is all a process. I don't want you to get overwhelmed because I know that there's a lot that goes into it, and it's about creating connections with people. It's, rank and all of those things are awesome. My goal is just for you to help 3 to 5 people I met get started in our groups help teach you how to run awesome challenge groups, and then go from there. And that all just starts with having conversations. But are you overwhelmed? Have I overwhelmed you?
No, I mean, this my biggest thing that's held me back is, like I said, reaching out to people that I don't have on my Facebook. I'm going, okay, how in the world am I supposed to do this? And I just haven't played around with Instagram enough to feel comfortable to get out there and do it.
Well, I will say that interacting in different groups. So I don't know if you're in a lot of groups like outside of our group. I'm in a wife of a welder group, and like I'm in a bunch like a Dave Ramsey group and some different groups. If I'm struggling to add people, because all of the people that I've added recently or have tried to add me are kind of spammy, I'll go within the groups that I'm already a part of outside of coaching or outside of health and fitness, and kind of interact in there, ask questions. It's just like you do on your personal page, ask questions like, what do you do with your kids in the afternoon, when you're locked inside because you're having a blizzard? Like, what do you do with your kids? Just interacting with people and then commenting, and it creates that like sense of people wanting to know what you're doing.
Okay, well, y'all, you're making, this is what I'm dealing with. Look.
I see. In just a minute, let me off my call. So, what are your biggest questions, concerns right now?
That's been like I said, that's been my only holdback. I mean, I've had people reach out to me. I've reached out to a few. It's one of those, not with the holidays coming up or, different things like that. So I've made a list of who I've talked to, who's told me that they'll think about it, or maybe, and then I was going to wait a few weeks or maybe even next month and try to reach back out to them and see, okay, is this something you want to do now or what?
Well, know that the Fit and Free group that we just opened up for all people that are questioning it because they're not really sure what it is, you're welcome to add in there. Okay. The thing I will encourage you about is when you add those people, they're looking to see your consistency. So that's a time for you to shine, for them to see you using the products, you drinking your shake, you talking about like the way that you're feeling change happening. Do it on your personal page as much as you do it in the group, because that's a place for people to really see, okay, she is serious about this. Okay, just send them a message to be like, hey, I don't know if you'd be interested in this, but we have a big group of all of these women that have been working with me for a really long time since I got started. It's just a group where we share different things, recipes, resources, all kinds of stuff without any financial obligation to get started. Is that something you'd be interested in? Since we've kind of talked about this a little bit and you said you might want to think about it, I'd really like to plug you into my community and let you see what we do and why we do it, like why I decided to go all in with this. Just giving them that option, I think, would be really awesome. Something that we're both excited about offering now, because I feel like people kind of need to see what we do before they're like, oh yeah, let's do that. They need to have that trust in you that yields in deeper relationships, that then yields in finding those coaches for your own team, and just those really, really awesome challengers that make the group thrive, like you, Sally. I'm trying to think who else, Brittany Wilson, like people that show up in there every single day. They're just like, man, y'all are freaking rock stars. Did I lose you? There you are. So yeah, it's snowing so much. Like, I cannot believe how much it's snowing right now. Anyway, that's what I wanted to bring to y'all. I'm going to share this calendar that I created. That's kind of just got different posts that you can share, coaching posts that you can share daily. So let's see. Today is, oh, we lost her. Yes. Is Wyatt sleeping? Yeah, lucky.
Lucky. Well, okay, so he has been like play hitting the pot. Like, he started last night and then again today. I think it's because he was really tired, and I felt really bad because I was like really stern with him, and I don't like to be like that. Yeah. So I went back in there to like check on him, and he was like passed out on the floor. So I was like, whatever.
Wherever you are.
He'll forget about it. But I wanted to ask you, I've been sitting here writing a list of all my customers from my website so I can go through and probably Facebook message them. I feel like a lot of people don't check their email. So I'm going to Facebook message them. But as far as people that have like shown interest in the past, I'm just going to go through Teamsy and basically do like a mass follow-up with everyone and be like, hey, I know that we've talked about this in the past and you've kind of been on the fence. I wanted to check in with you and see how things are going and let you know that our private accountability group, we're opening the doors to add more people to share like our resources and everything. I'm trying to think of like a way to explain it that's not like a paragraph though.
Yeah, keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
I will say that those messages that I'm like, hey, no, it's been a while since I talked to you. Hope you're having a great day. Just want to invite you to what we've got going on. Accountability, recipes, fitness, mom tips. Sound like something you're interested. I'll get back with you or something like that. Because I had this like long, beautiful, like typed out, and a girl in my accountability group from our West Region Rockstar, she was like, yeah, nobody's going to read that. She's like, it's awesome. And it's like, sounds so good. She's like, but think about yourself. You're a mom of 2 kids. Do you have time to sit there and read a novel? And I'm like, no. Okay, go poop. Like, yeah, normal, totally normal. So think about that. And that's a good advice. Like, think about who you're talking to, because if you're a busy mom and you don't have time to sit there and read a whole book on Facebook, then typically nobody else will. So that's something that I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I'll have to work on that too, because I need to send like 100 messages today.
Me too.
I'm so behind.
My goal is to add 100 people to Fit and Free by the end of the week.
I just added people in there that I had talked to, and I need to send them messages and be like, hey, by the way, I added you. Don't freak out and don't delete yourself. This is not a lipstick group.
You just added them first and then sent them a message?
Yes.
Hey, by the way.
Because they can't, like, the people that I did add, so do I introduce myself? Are you going to introduce us? Or, like, is this just like, and I'm like, why do you?
What is this?
Nobody has ever cared before. And now it's all of a sudden they're like, hey, you going to.
What do I do? Well, probably because they saw the other new people introducing themselves and then they're like, wait.
Wait a second. Don't forget me. So I made a blanket introduction and I added like 40 more people in there, but I got to go back and message them and be like, don't freak out. You told me you didn't want to pay for things, so I'm adding you in here. So you can see what I do. I'm not losing. Okay, now here's something I want to tell y'all this, because I got this tip yesterday and I think it's really awesome and it's a good way to talk about coaching and what we do as coaches. So hold on, I gotta wipe the butt.
Oh, I love it. I'm just excited for everything going on. I feel like this is going to help us reach so many more people that have been on the fence about it.
Okay, so I totally forgot I was recording this call. I'm so sorry.
That was perfect.
Sharing the team page. Okay, so one thing that we talked about yesterday in our mastermind call for One Star Diamonds is to think about when you are talking to people and you're like, okay, so the whole thing is $160. The whole package is $160. She said, you know what you should start telling people is that the workouts and the shake are for free. You're paying $160 to have me as your coach. And I was like, dang, that's kind of intimidating. She's like, but think about it. Think about all the time that you spend, reaching out to people and talking to people and creating resources. She's like, and if you don't feel confident saying that, that's fine. She's like, but those of you that really do feel confident in what you do as a coach, she's like, you should tell them that they're getting the shake for free. It's not the shake you're paying for, it's my coaching. She said, and when you get that mindset in your head and you're like, you're paying for my coaching, that's going to make you level up and really take yourself seriously. She's like, because I feel like the reason so many of you have been stuck here for so long is the fact that you don't actually believe in what you do as a coach. You are stuck in that mindset of, oh, this is, a $40 business. I'm not really doing things. When in all actuality, like, you're helping people change their life. You're doing crazy consistent things that are not only changing your own life, but that are helping people change their lives.
I think our time is just so much more valuable than we give ourselves credit for. And we're always in this struggle of like finding time to do things. But then when it comes for us to ask people to pay for our time, we like clam up and we're like, oh, it's 160, like just what you said, it's 160 for your workouts and your shakes. And we don't put enough emphasis on like the personal attention that they're getting. Because I know, Katie, I don't remember where you said this. It was a video I just watched that you did about how when you signed up, your coach was like gone. You're like, I just bought this challenge pack. What do I do with it? I don't ever want any of my, I'll just shut the screen on you guys. I don't ever want any of my people to ever feel like they're getting gypped or they're not getting promised like what I said I was going to do. I want them to feel like they're getting more than what they expected. And I think that's also why I'm so obsessed with this idea of community and tribe, and because I didn't have that when I started, and that's what I wanted. So we've kind of just banded together to create that ourselves. Like, I grew up an only child, and I want to have a lot of kids because I didn't have brothers and sisters growing up. Like, I'm creating my own family, just like I'm creating my own community. That's like the only word for it. But I'm just excited. I'm excited for the new people to get in there and to see what they've been missing this whole time.
So this is a chance for us to kind of shine as coaches. This is a chance for us to share the things that we love about our job. When you sign new people on, new people are excited. And this is a chance to run with that excitement. Same thing with signing on new coaches. Like, it's an exciting time to sign on new coaches because you're like, finally, people are getting what I'm doing and it's like making sense. And that's all we want. You want that in your challenge groups. You want that with your coaches. No, ma'am, go lay down. You want that in your children. Testing. But it's time to create that belief in ourselves and what we do. Kristen, you're so new, and I know you're like, okay, but I don't really know, I don't know all of these things. You don't have to know all these things. Just believe in what you're doing and the fact that you're changing your own life and you're creating a healthy community for your children. You're creating that healthy home and you're installing those healthy habits, instilling those healthy habits, in y'all's life right now. Like, that's so important to this whole thing. But I'm excited. It's going to be so awesome. I just have to make myself sit down and message today. I'm obviously not going to the post office, so that's out. So I'm going to sit and I'm going to message, and I will share. I'm going to share in the Fit Chick Nation team page, like, kind of messages that I'm sending out, inviting people. I'm going to kill this kid. She's going to wake her sister up. I'm going to share those in there. I'm going to scan this in. I'm going to do November and December. I'm writing it out right now. And I'm going to scan this in and I'll share it. It's just got different things that you can post about, like next week on Monday, the new group starts, so kind of talking about that. Tuesday, posting a transformation story of your own or, somebody you've been working with. Workout Wednesday post, so share your workout, share something inspirational about that. Hold on. On Thursday, sharing how Beachbody has changed your life. So, even if you're not seeing like all of the crazy things happen like a bunch of different coaches are, how has it changed your life personally? So share it from your point of view. On the 17th, which is Friday, posting a healthy holiday recipe. I get all of my inspirational quotes, all of my recipes, all of my anything from Pinterest. So don't feel like you have to create that on your own. I go to Pinterest all the time. On Saturdays, sharing success stories from our group. So a lot of times if I see someone in there posting like they've had a non-scale victory or they've got their kids to work out with them, sharing about that, just shoot a message. Hey, are you okay if I, cover up your name and your face and like share your story? Because it's really inspiring to share other people's stories because they know you're not doing it alone. Yes. And then, yeah, just that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that's on here. Just another resource for y'all to go, okay, what if I don't have anything to post today, what can I post today? That's consistent, and it really starts to sprinkle coaching in your daily posts. Is she awake? Don't go in there. I'll go in there in just a second. So I'm going to share that with you. I'm going to share that with you guys. I'm going to go through and I'm going to delete some of the resources that are in there because I feel like there's a lot. But there's going to be a tracker in there, these two calendars, and then some different ways that I'm going to invite people and follow up with them. Never stop following up with people until they tell you they don't want to talk to you anymore, because good chances are, I know it's annoying, right? Good chances are that's an opportunity for you to get to know them more. So when they tell you that, you know, oh, right now is not a really good time, keep checking in with them. Keep seeing how they're doing, like how things are changing in their life, you know, how was their week? Just get to know them on a more personal level, because the best people, the best friends that I've ever created have come from just creating those genuine connections to people that have told me no. So keep that.
And I can't tell you how many times I've followed up with people like 3 times in a row and they haven't responded, and then that 4th time they're like, oh my gosh, I've been meaning to message you, I feel like crap, I was just thinking about your post you did about your group, and then well, bam, they're in there. So I mean, you just never know. Some people will get a notification that they got a message, they'll open it and be like, I'm gonna read that later, and then they don't read it. So that's why you have to follow up with people, because we know how mom brain is. Like, I ghost on people all the time, like, that I probably shouldn't ghost on, and then I'm like, crap, I thought I replied to them. But, I mean, people are human. They're not doing it to be annoying or vindictive or to hurt your feelings. I always felt like that in the beginning. I was like, well, I see that she read my message and just never responded. I got so butthurt about it. And then they'd message me like 2 weeks later and be like, oh my gosh, I thought I responded to you. I'm so sorry. Like, it's the things that we think in our mind that hold us back from going harder and from doing like the things that we know we need to and we should do. And I think that just comes with experience. Like, I still have times when I get hurt about something, or, you know, but then I'm like, okay, they're not doing it to be a jerk or to be rude to me. Like, they have their own life going on just like we have our own lives. This is just a bigger part of our lives than it is to them right now. So it's kind of like meeting people where they are and like showing them how this can fit into their lives. Because I have so many people that are like, oh, I'm too busy, I don't have enough money. I've heard every excuse like in the book. But it's just like an ex-boyfriend. They always come back in the end, whether it's to ask, hi, Miss Amber, she's so happy. They either come back to ask you about a recipe, or they ask you about a post, or they're still watching you. It's just, we think that people don't care if we don't have the response that we expect that we should. But people are watching, and people do creep on you, whether you realize it or not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What was I going to tell you? It's really good. I had like a moment, and then I had to get this one out of bed. Oh, Kristen, I have you it's a gratitude journal and a personal development book I'm going to send in the mail probably tomorrow when I go to the post office, because today I'm not driving. But I have it set out. I'm going to send it to you in the mail. This is just for you to kind of journal like day to day, things that are bothering you, things that are really exciting, different things that are happening in your life, different things that are happening in your business. My goal for you this month is to help you find 2 people to work with. 2 people that you can pour your time and energy in, and you can feel that really awesome feeling that is coaching. I want you to experience that, because that's what's going to keep you pushing forward in the future. And I know this from personal experience, that coaches that do not find those people to work with in the first month that they are a coach will give up, because they're like, well, why am I doing this if no one wants to do this with me? So I want you to really think about just 2 people. Keep talking to the people that you've already written down, but I really want you to think about finding 2 people and just keep talking to them until you get them to say, yes, okay, fine, I'll do this with you. You know, keep creating that excitement and sharing the things that you're excited about, the changes that you're experiencing, because I want you to have those 2 people to plug in with and work closely with, because it will make such a difference in everything that you're doing. Because you'll be like, okay, so she said no today. But I still have this one person who's like doing the things, and she's getting the results, and it's exciting. like I said, just creates, she like totally pulled out a huge chunk of my hair. It's creating that excitement in your business, in your own personal journey, because you really do feel like you're doing this with other people and it makes a difference.
One thing that I'm going to start doing with my newer coaches is when you're doing inviting posts, a good rule of thumb is like you want to serve, and then sell or invite, like the call to action post, inviting them to a group or to join you in your journey or whatever that is, instead of being like, hey, I'm, stepping out as a brand new coach, and people are like, what is a coach? Like, what does that even mean? Just be like, this is what I've been doing, these workouts, and this is how it's changing me, and like invite them to be like an accountability partner with you inside of your group. And then that's when you can find out more about, like, she's so cute. Oh my gosh. Hi, Emers. She's so big. And then that's when you can start asking questions and find out like what they're currently doing, what their kind of like limiting thoughts are, like what have they done in the past that didn't work for them, or what did they do that they loved that they quit for X, Y, and Z reason, and just kind of figuring out, like, 9 times out of 10, it's like mindset issues combined with they don't know how to get started. So if we can tackle the mindset, but also give them the tools that they need through Beachbody On Demand, Shakeology, Container System, and having that support from us, not even as a coach, but just as like a fellow mom that's like, girl, I get it. Like, I know I've dealt with the screaming. I know what it's like to try to work out and have kids hanging off of you. Just relate to them and be like a friend. That's what people need more than anything. Like, I go to meet up with some lady off a buy sell trade page to sell her a Cincy, and she told me her whole life story. Like, people are so ready to talk to someone that will listen. Like, we just have to be like really good at reading or listening between the lines and seeing like, this is what they struggle with, this is how I can help them. And that won't always necessarily mean selling them a challenge pack. It can mean putting them in Fit and Free for a year until they're ready to say yes and to invest in themselves. Rant over. You're muted.
You have questions now? Or are you
No, I'm just taking it all in. My pen got stolen, so my notes are few and far between right now. But yeah.
But it is recorded, so we'll have it, and you'll see me talking about my butt and stuff. So it's good. It's good. This is what team is about. This is what team is about. You understand? Like, this is life. I'm going to start sharing more openly in the Fit Chick Nation page. So just anytime you have questions, go in there and look at the stuff that I'm posting. If something comes up and you're like, I don't know how to answer that, or like you did before when that lady was asking a question, you're like, well, I'm not really sure. Shoot me a message. We are here for you. All right.
I'm just so excited about everything.
Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. It's going to be so
I'm
good.
about to message everyone I've ever talked to in my whole life. I'm really wanting to send a copy and paste message, though. Like, I'm just so close to doing it because that's a lot of, like, mental energy.
Oh, I just got my thigh pinched so hard.
Oh, I thought she, like, threw up on you or something.
No, I got pinched. Okay.
I was expecting to grin.
No, before I swear on camera. This is a mess. It's a mess.